since my last video. And it's now October, it's pumpkin season, so I'm going to show you and myself how to make pumpkin pie using a real pumpkin instead of the pumpkin puree. And I've never done it before, so this is going to be an experience for both of us, or all of us, because hopefully there's more than one person watching. So the recipe that I'm using comes from Bubby's Homemade Pies, and I found this book at Ollie's for $9.99, and the price on the inside says $29.95, so I think I got a pretty good deal. Throughout the video you might see me look at my teeth a lot because I just came from the dentist and my teeth are squeaky clean, so appreciate it. Now, according to Bubby's Homemade Pies, in order to cook the pumpkin, we're going to split it from the stem to the bottom. So let's see, where should I start? I should probably let my dad do this. Oh, this might take a while. I think let me try a different knife. Let me try my Rachael Ray bread knife. See if I can get into this thing. If you're watching this and laughing, I don't blame you, because it probably looks really hilarious. This is the battle of Cassie versus the pie pumpkin. Almost got it. Come on. Not quite down the middle, but close enough. Now I'm going to take out the seeds with a large spoon. And I'm going to save the seeds because I'm going to make roasted pumpkin seeds with them. My favorite. Okay, you don't have to get it completely clean. I mean, there's some seed fibers in there, but no seeds. Looks pretty good. On to the second half. Okay, now we have two lovely seeded halves of the pumpkin. And the next step, according to Bubby's Homemade Pies, is to stem the pumpkin. So I'm going to chop the stem off. Too bad I don't have a power saw. Probably save some of that. Then you're going to chop the pumpkin into chunks. I'm just going to do large chunks. Let's see. This is going to take a while, so there might be a lot of fade in, fade out tricks later. Okay, I'm going to finish cubing up this pumpkin because it's going to take a long time. I'm going to turn the camera off, and when I come back, I'm going to have a bowl full of perfectly cubed pumpkin ready to go into a large pot of boiling water. See? Isn't that magical? Now I have a whole bowl of lovely cubed pumpkin. And the cubes don't all have to be exactly the same size, but try to get it close so that the cooking time is the same. Most of mine are about 1 and 1.5 inch cubes. So I'm going to drop all these into a large pot of boiling water. And be careful because the cubes splash. And I know you can't see me anymore, but trust that I'm over here being very careful, dropping my cubed pumpkin into boiling water. To test your pumpkin to see if your pumpkin's done, just try to find a large piece, so that way you know if the large piece is done, the smaller pieces are definitely done. And just slide a knife into it, and it should go in fairly easily. That looks pretty good. And that means it's done. So now you're going to drain it, let it cool off a little so you can handle it, and then peel the skins off with a knife. Then you're going to mash it, and then measure out whatever you need for your recipe, and you can save the rest in the refrigerator. So the pumpkin's been cooling for about 5 minutes. It's still pretty hot, but it's cool enough that I can actually pick it up with my hands and it doesn't burn me. So I pulled the trash can over close to me, so whenever I peel these, I can just drop it right in the trash. Good idea. You don't have to go out and spend retarded amounts of money on a so-called garbage bowl. You know who I'm talking about. So just take a knife, pretty sharp knife, and just be careful not to slice your fingers off. And just slide the knife. The peeling comes off really easy. Slide the knife between the peeling and the flesh. And just keep doing it until you got it all done. While I was peeling the skin off of the pumpkin, I noticed that it was still really wet and juicy. So what I'm going to do is pour all of my skinned pumpkin flesh into a lint-free kitchen towel and just pick it up like this, spin it around until it gets really tight, and just wring out some of the extra moisture. And this will really ensure that you don't end up with a soupy pie. Okay, I think we got most of it. And that also gives you, a really good head start on the mashing, because now you pretty much have a giant blob of mashed pumpkin. You just have a few big chunks that you can still work out with your hands. Actually, I might even put this into the food processor. My glasses are sliding down my nose. I'm slowly transforming into a sexy librarian. Just kidding. Just kidding. Now I got my pumpkin in my food processor. I'm going to turn it on and let it go for a few seconds. Oh yeah, that looks much better. The color is so vibrant. It's so much prettier than the pumpkin that you get in the can. It's so like light orange and pretty. So I'm gonna get this out, get it cooled down, and I'll be back to make the pie filling. So in this little bowl right here, I've got a little bit of flour, some cinnamon, some salt, and a pinch of nutmeg. And in my large bowl, I'm gonna put my pumpkin, my eggs, my heavy cream, light brown sugar, white sugar, and vanilla. Blend all the ingredients until smooth. And I was going to use my stand mixer, but let me show you what happened. Take you over here. Here's my baby. Here's the pin that holds the neck on. It came out! So now, the head comes off. Well, that's a two-hand job, but anyways, yeah, that's what happened. So put you back up here. Now we're blending. Okay, looks smooth. I'll show you the color. Pretty. Okay, now add the dry ingredients and blend just until page turn combined. Alrighty. Adding my dry ingredients. Blending until combined. I think we got it. Okay. Now we have lovely pie filling. Pour the filling on top of the pre-baked pie shell. Okay. This looks so good. I'm sure my family's going to be sick of pumpkin. I've made so much pumpkin stuff already, but I haven't made anything with a fresh pumpkin, so this is kind of a new thing. Alrighty, now how long is this going to bake? Bake the pie on a lipped baking sheet for 50 to 55 minutes or until just barely set in the center. Wiggle the pie gently to test its doneness. Look for a center that jiggles but doesn't slosh. And I'll be back to show you what it looks like when it's done. So here's my finished pie, all wrapped in plastic, cooled to room temperature, and ready to go into the refrigerator. And as you can maybe possibly see, there are a few cracks in the center. And according to Bubby's Homemade Pies, that means it was overcooked. So excuse me, I guess the wobbly wasn't wobbly enough when I took it out of the oven. But either way, it's going to be delicious. How couldn't it be? Because I made this homemade caramel sauce to drizzle on top of it. So thanks for watching my video and learning with me how to make a pumpkin pie using a real pumpkin. And stay tuned to read the rest of my blog post to find out if I think it's actually worth it to make a pumpkin pie with a real pumpkin instead of just using the stuff in the can.